Let's get it. Praise the Most High. It is once again another glorious day here in the Carolinas. Absolutely gorgeous this morning. And we love saying that word regardless of the weather, regardless of our circumstances what's surrounding us, by eye, physically what we see. Because we know that the Most High surrounds us with his Ruach HaKodesh. And he surrounds us with protection. Like a city within walls. Hallelujah. I do pray to everyone as well today, and that you too are able to get out and enjoy this day. You might say, Rob, why are you always saying that you hope everybody can get out and enjoy the day? Because there was a time and point in my life I couldn't get out and enjoy the day. I was stuck up in a hospital room, or I was stuck up in my house, my home, or should I say next, I was stuck up in a rehab. Then I was stuck up in my home, rehab. But praise the Most High. Here we are today in a much better place, able to get out and enjoy the days that the Most High has given us to live, enjoy, and be glad in with him. Also finding out being in him every single day we get up. The Most High is so gracious to us. We must call on him daily and get our orders from him daily. And our orders don't only mean what we're going to go out and do each day, but it's also him comforting us, giving us a word of encouragement that we will need that day beforehand. Just like the text says, the Ruach HaKodesh leads us into all truth. So he's given us that anointed word, hallelujah, that he has covered our mind with earlier during that day. Just like the text says, anoint my head with oil, my cup overflow, hallelujah. And he said, your rod and staff that comfort me. What is that, Robert? The Most High's holy text, that word. Yahushua HaMashiach himself, the living word of the Most High Elohim. Hallelujah. I guess that would be called the introduction and a greeting. But praise the Most High. I do have a marvelous thought for today. And it is, who reigns on the throne of your heart? Who reigns on the throne of your heart today? Who's holding that high seat in your life? Is it you? Is it your loved ones? Those people, places, and things that you so enjoy? Like we spoke on a prior recording, and saying you enjoy that pleasurable season. You're still in that pleasurable season. I heard a saying, well, it's a song too, old saying, trouble don't last always. And happy sin days don't last always either. But the Most High reminded me of King David when he asked me the question, who reigns supreme in your heart today? Who sits on the throne of your heart today? Who reigns on the throne of your heart today? And I like that word supreme also. Who reign supreme on the throne of your heart today. Because you're not asking the king to get back up off his throne because you want to put somebody else there temporarily, or you just want the king to reign temporarily in your life because you want to reign supreme in your life. But he said of David that he was a man after his own heart. And you might ask me, what does that mean? And I've always heard that saying, and I've never really had a clear indication of what that meant until today. And it's still not as clear as the Most High is revealing it to me to be. But we have a good idea. And that means he was chasing after the Most High's heart, his will, his plan for his life daily. Just like we speak on all day, every day, we're seeking the Most High's will for our life every day. It's an everyday thing. It's a lifestyle. We have to know that we know that we know that we has his approval on every step and move we make. That's what it means to chase after the man's heart, the Most High's heart. Or should I say, that's what it means when it says David had a heart after the Most High. Like I said, we want the king to get up off his throne from time to time because we want to have that place. We want that place back. We want to ask him, look, you get up, I need to take care of some business. So what are you asking him? You're not at your father's business. Like Yahushua said he was. You want to be after your own business. The own cares of your heart, which are the cares of this world. But when we release those cares, then we can be at our Father's business full time, wholeheartedly, having a heart after the Most High. And as the saying goes, having a heart after the Most High's own heart. Well, as the script says. Yes, indeed, ask yourself that today. Whose heart am I chasing? Whose desire, whose will am I chasing today? Is it the Most High Elohim, or is it me, the little K king, like David? Yes, sir, I will. Just like David. See, David had history with the Most High. And as I speak on that idea from time to time, how I have history with him, and like the Moray told me in a teaching, it was like you can't learn anything from the Most High without going through something to prove that lesson. And the script says, to much is given, much is required, right? Yeah. So when the Most High teaches you a lesson, it's learned. Oh boy, is it learned. It's learned very well. See, the Most High desires us to do right. That's his ultimate goal for each and every one of us, for us to do right, for us to learn them hard lessons, get on over it. And then he desires for us to tell and teach our brothers and sisters, our ox and our coatees. But praise the Most High, David had some stuff he went through with the Most High and learning them lessons. See, David had some hard trials in his life. Most people just like to breeze over the times that he killed the bear, the lion, protecting the sheep. Most people like to breeze over the story when he was running from Saul. Most people like to breeze over the stories when he was staying with the Philistines, acting crazy at one time, slobbering all over himself, acting in order to save his life. And a lot of us like to forget the time he was even fighting his own family. His son was after his life.
Keep left to continue on I-485 inner.
This is so sad, but it's true. And see, we find ourselves in that predicament from time to time, having to put people back on their throne in your life, which is far more lower than the Most High's throne in our life, on our heart. See, everybody have a place in our heart, but we have to keep them in the right place, if you would say. And see, I didn't even mention the story, but this is one of the most important ones when we speak on King David. King David had a man murdered for his wife. Oh boy. Oh boy. What a terrible thing to do. And I'm reminded of something Denzel said over the weekend, which I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I breeze through the news and I see little stuff to catch my attention. He said, far be it for us to judge Will Smith for smacking Chris Rock for talking about his wife. I said, oh boy, I can't say a single word about that because I hold my wife in high esteem also. So if someone's talking about my wife, making her feel bad and uncomfortable, and I see it right there in front of me, then I gotta handle business. But that's none of my concern. I'm not even going into that story because I promised myself I wasn't going to talk about it, but I just thought about what Denzel said. So at the same time, how could we judge King David for what he did, although it was very terrible, absolutely terrible? And some would ask him, how could you do that? Just like we'll ask Adam and Eve, how could you do that? How could you sin against the Most High? You were in perfect position and you messed up. I wouldn't have done that. Oh boy, that's time to be careful when we start talking about what we would have done in their place. But just like the little girl that eat the popcorn, I believe King David and Adam and Eve would say, yeah, I did it. Because we do the same mess in our lives. Just like this idea today. We're here, we're speaking on today and be like, yeah, the Most High reigns in my heart. He sits on the throne. But the question is, does he really? What was the fella named Uriah? What Uriahs are we having murdered today? Or are we murdering today? I don't think it's Uriah, but that's close. We'll make sure we get the fella's name right because he deserves it. Bathsheba's husband. Yeah, what Uriahs are we murdering today in our own personal lives? And David did it, he spoke of it. He called it blood guiltiness. See, that meant he felt that thing. That means the scales weren't balanced from what he thought he wanted and from what he got. and see what's going on in our lives, the scales are unbalanced today. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. We think we want to run and reign supreme in our own lives on the throne of our hearts. But the Most High telling us, you don't want to do that. You better let me sit in that seat. You better give me my seat, or you will regret it. And see, this is for our own good today. Just like all these ideas the Most High give us. They're to command our day with. They're for us to find our being in Him today, each day. And no, you don't need Robert to find your being in the Most High. Matter of fact, it's best that you find your being in Him on your own. Because this is a personal relationship.
Mile, turn right onto West Boulevard.
As we used to say in the church. As I used to say, you can't tell me nothing about God. I know God. I've been in church all my life. But that's going to be my time. We're almost to my job. Hallelujah. There we go. I'm not going to stop yet. Hallelujah. Yeah, we got to go back and speak on Saul and why David became the king. Hallelujah.
Continue straight onto Byram Drive.
No, we're not. We're going to make a U-turn right here. This thing said turn left back there, so we're going to go back and make that right.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Wallace Neal Road.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, what a grand idea to follow up on one man's mistake, turning into one man sitting on the throne. I'm way out here by the airport.
Take the next right onto Wallace Neal Road.
Pardon me, I'm looking at this job nobody wants to take. Oh boy, I'm about to get it, Most High willing. Yeah, we was thinking on King Saul and how he didn't let the Most High reign supreme in his life on the throne of his heart. See, he said the people said. The people wanted. I didn't want to disappoint the people. Oh boy.